Well, you are still onto the economy today, and I'm in the office of Senator Anthony Adefuye. They're trying to look at the present Nigerian economy, and for me, projections for this year. Looking at all the things that is happening, is it growing, is it coming down, or is it just there? So those are the things that we are going to be looking at today. So, sir, thank you for accepting us in this office today. Sir, I'm sure you have gone out there. You have seen a lot of people. Some people have come to you. Even some people have come, maybe probably crying to you about one thing or the other. How do you judge, or from your own opinion now, how do you judge the situation on ground?
Which situation? The economic situation, you mean?
Yes, the economic situation.
Well, it's very difficult to predict any economic situation now. Because you remove subsidy, we didn't plan for it, for this removal of subsidy. All this palliative that you say we're offering only goes to some people, not everybody. The only way, and the only way, is to quickly agree at minimum wage for Nigerians, so that they can eat at least 3 meals a day, go to work, come back, send their children to school, and so on and so forth. That is the time when you have economic, either development or whatever it is. If you say you have growth, and yet people cannot eat, people cannot go to school, then what type of growth is that? What type of economic growth is that? You are comparing last year to this year. Last year, the rate of dollar was less than this year. So how did you arrive at your own economic growth? It's something for you people to do theories, to what they taught you in England, what they taught you in America. But it's quite different from what is happening in Africa. In Africa, what we need to do is to make sure that we provide medical for all our people. They are able, they are fit, and they can walk. 2, the children are going to school. Because when you don't send your children to school, they cannot understand all this economic thing you are mentioning here. It's only known to you and to the Ministry of Finance. But for us, the public, what matters to us is different. We want to send our children to school. We want adequate medical for our children. We want them to be able to eat, and then we want to clothe them. These are the things that matters now in Nigeria and Africa. But if all of you are going up and down to America and London, aren't you ashamed when they now come to Nigeria and they begin to show the nude people, they begin to show your unorganized market, they begin to show that people sell things on the streets, they begin to show that there are so many people begging rather than those working. They begin to show that you have no organized transport. They begin to show that you have no organized railway. They begin to show that for the last 50 years, you have been trying to establish a steel plant, you have not established it. Let all of us come together and think and reason. The problem here is that some are getting rich and richer, and some are getting poor and poorer. That does not help us at all. You are not rich if all your relations are poor. You are not a rich man. There can't be a rich man in the midst of the poor. You are just an oppressor. That's what you are.
So, sir, you mentioned the subsidy removal. What's your opinion on its removal? Was it too hasty? should there have been a plan on ground before the removal of subsidy? Because it seems all those things just came of a sudden and it is now impacting on the economy.
Nobody knew, nobody had the warning that there would be a subsidy removal until the president made his announcement. Nobody was aware of whatever it is. Even when it is removed, the immediate thing is to adequately provide alternatives. If we remove subsidy, where is that money that we're using for subsidy? Where is the money now? Where is that money? The money we said we are saving for subsidy, where is it now? A man before, let us say the exchange rate of Naira is 740 to a dollar. Now it's 1,000 something to a dollar. And you are saying now that economic thing is 23%. That is more than 25% different in somebody's life. And most of the things we do in Nigeria today depends on dollar. It's not available to you, it's not available to me. All we have is Naira. And then you go to the bank, the Naira is not there.
So well, it is a bit disheartening that we are in this situation at this moment now.
So we need to sit down and organize. The first thing we have to do, we have to announce minimum wage.
So announcing a minimum wage, is that a lasting solution or is it just to some few?
That's the first thing we have to do. The first thing is to announce minimum wage. The minimum wage now is so and so. Now, the average transport fare in Lagos today to go and come back is about 1,000 naira. Let us say you are lucky here and you work in Nigeria. It will take you 500 there, it will take you 500 back. That's 1,000 naira. Times 30, that's 30,000 naira. So the minimum wage cannot be 30,000. Number two, you have to pay your rent. An average rent around this area, maybe is about 3,000 in Nigeria, not in this area. Maybe it's about 3,000 naira per room, per month. I'm just saying, it's even more than that. It's higher than that. It's higher than that. Two, people have to eat. If you go to work and go and buy, you need at least 500 naira. Let us say you only drink gari and eba.
Gari is not cheap anymore.
Let us say 500 naira. That's another 15,000. 15 plus 30, that's 45. Your children, they have to go to school. You are not God, they can be sick. You have to have extra to make sure you take care of those children. So we are talking of a minimum wage of 50 or above. Now, if people are earning 30, how do you want them to cope? Now people are saying that some government will not be able to afford it. That is not your problem. Our problem is the people. These people appointed us there, and they should be our priority. If you are self-employed, you can increase your prices as you wanted. If you are a barber, if you are cutting for 500 before, you can say it's now 750. But if you are working for an industry or for a company and so on and so forth, it's what they pay you. And the minimum wage today is 30,000.
No.
And that is what they are still being paid. So whether you like, distribute rice, distribute beans, it doesn't solve the problem.
Sir, I am not cutting you now. You mentioned minimum wage is like the first thing. But we know governments, we have governments, anything concerning the government is what might actually get the minimum wage. But when it comes to the private companies, which we have so many out there, that does not obtain. A private person may not be able to say increase that salary up to that level, so that will favor the staffs to be able to do things well.
I don't understand you.
How do you correlate?
Look,
I
don't understand you. I don't understand you. If you are a private person, you increase your salary according to your strength, whatever you can afford. If people come to work, that's the only time you can make profit. If they are unable to come to work, what do you do? If they come to work and they are not able to work, what can you achieve? If they are at work and they are looking for a way to steal to be able to come tomorrow, what can I do? I called a man about a week ago. I said, "Where are you?" He said it was somewhere. I said, "Okay, meet me so. He was afraid to tell me that he hasn't got money to put fuel in his car to come. And he remained at home. When I called him the next day, he said, "Oh, guy, I couldn't come, and I was afraid to face you that I couldn't come." That's what he told me.
Well, sir, I'll come back to you. I'll go for a very short break now, and come back to the senator. Welcome back. We're still on to the economy today, and we're looking at the Nigerian economy this 2024, and looking at how it can actually be improved to actually impact on the people out there, because the people are actually the economy. So, sir, you talked about the minimum wage. What other things do you think the government should do right now?
Look, everything will fall in place once you announce the minimum wage. It must be a wage that can get ordinary person to work and back, that can give him 3 square meals or at least 2, that can make him pay his rent. You don't want your staff to be sleeping on the streets. So I don't know what other things you want to do. What I know is that you must announce that minimum wage so that people can go to work and come back, so that people will know the fixed price of. Well, if you wake up today now and say you want to buy chicken, do you know how much they are selling chicken? So if they can increase their price, why can't we increase minimum wage? Did they inform us before they increase the price of their chicken? Is it not the price you buy that you will sell? So what are people talking about?
But the government has actually increased the minimum wage to 35,000 naira. I think it will be taking effect from April this year. So,
So before April, what should people do? Die? What is he talking about? What will people do? Die before April? Well, how did they come at 35,000?
I think that is left for the government to say.
No, it's not for the government to say, it's for the people to say. The government doesn't do everything. You're looking at, we can't pay 35,000. Employ people who can work and pay them adequately for the work they do for you. When Nigerians go abroad, most of the job they go and do is labor work. Because the labor work will give you, you will be able to go to work and come back. You will be able to pay for your medical fees. You will be able to feed yourself. You will be able to pay your transport. And you will be able to pay for your accommodation. That's the only reason when they say the japa, You find a doctor doing labourer work. There must be an adequate minimum wage that even if a graduate hasn't find adequate job, he can still do any labourer work and still live. Look, whether you like it or not, if you do not carry the people along, the future will not be peaceful. You have to carry the people along. Everybody, people go about borrowing money because they want to go to work. How long will they continue to do that? If you want to apply, say minimum wage is at 5,000, announce it. Then we in the company, private sector, we will adjust and make sure that our staff can come to work. Now they can't come to work unless you in my own company, we don't pay such money. So immediately we have increased our minimum wage. For those whom we have provided, maybe house help and so on and so forth, maybe the minimum wage is 40K. And you find they're happy. They do everything for you. For those who go with transport and so on and so forth, their minimum wage is 55. That's what we pay in companies now. In most companies, that's what we do. People are working. So, if you don't want people who are working in ministries, do you want them to steal? If you say their own minimum wage is 35, will they steal? Why are you going to buy a bus to take them? Give them the money. You don't need to buy any bus. Give them the money. You don't need to buy rice for them. They will go and buy rice themselves.
So does that mean because we have the National Assembly that is actually the face of the people, does that mean the National Assembly is not actually understanding what the people are feeling?
This is not National Assembly. I'm not a member of National Assembly. National Assembly, they have their problem to solve. But the major problem is that the people we lead must be able to sustain life. They must be able to sustain life. The pain is too much. Saying tomorrow will be better. Tomorrow will be which better? Every day the price of food goes up. Every day dollar goes up. Some people are happy by it because all the money they spend is in dollars. We, the ordinary people, we spend naira. So it means that if you say dollar is now 1,000 something, it means the money in my hand has been devalued by 50%. That's what it means. If you give us notice that you are going to do this, all of us probably will have changed our money to dollar already. So that when you now do the thing, it will not be too much pain. But you did not tell us, so we still have the naira. And you change that naira, you reduce the money in my hand by 50%. I still have the number of children, the same, 4. I still have 1 wife. Am I going to reduce 1 wife to half wife? Am I going to reduce 4 children that are already living? Once you announce minimum wage, the problems will disappear. It will now be on individuals to make sure that they work and plan themselves for people to get to work, for people to feed, for people to look after their children, and so on and so forth. It will solve itself. How long are we going to begin to give, go and give them rice, go and give them, and then some of these chairmen, they They will say they gave 1,000 bags of rice, when in the actual fact, they didn't give 50 bags of rice. So how do we manage that? Let people who have their money and go and buy whatever they want. Everything will go down. I don't understand you people. I don't understand. You come to me, you're asking me economy. Am I an economist? I'm not I'm just an ordinary person here. If the economy, and I must advise Nigerian universities, they should teach us Nigerian economy. Nigerian economy is different from all this economy that we study abroad. It doesn't work. Have you ever seen anywhere in Europe or America where they devalue by less than 1%? There will be crisis. You devalued by 100%. You are saying economy. Which economy is that?
Well, sir, I want to thank you so much, for your time here. Yeah, well, I wouldn't want to go in there because I've actually faced such things in the universities before, asking this question, that you just asked now. Why are we studying a particular economic, policy, framework rather than ours? But I want to thank you so much, Senator Anthony Adefuye, for entertaining us today. Thank you so much, sir.
It's okay. I just want you people to go out there and tell us the truth. Let us know the pain of the people. Don't come here and be giving us economic theory that only apply to Britain and America. Even in China, they don't use that economic theory. Unless you don't want to survive. The economic theory of Britain, America is different. We all go there to work for them. They contribute nothing. Here, you must contribute into the economy before you can eat out of the economy.
Anyway, that's the much we can take from here, and it's a wrap-up from the program itself. My name is George Nwadozie. I'll see you soon.